I read an article by one of the MK, Mkhonto weSizwe intellectuals, and it absolutely begged for a response. I need to read it because it's long and I'd hate to miss anything. It's so rich. So here's the quote: "The highly ethical MK party, under the magnificent leadership of Jacob Zuma, will not be attending Parliament to legitimize the unholy marriage between the ANC and the racist DA. Rooted in a deep respect for the Constitution and for people, the ethical MK has rejected the biased dismissal of the rigged election results by the IEC and Zondo. His Excellency will address the nation to chart a way forward. The sole mission of MK is to rescue South Africa from the impending disaster of the unholy marriage from hell. The exceptional tactician of our times, Dr. Zuma, will lead from the front. MK is not in this for self-interest or positions. It is all about rescuing the land." And he goes on about Dr. Zuma will continue to fight our enemies here and abroad, etc. Second quote: "The Moses of today, His Excellency, President Zuma," I think he forgot to say President Dr. Zuma, "under divine leadership, will continue to fight enemies here and abroad. God and our ancestors have summoned him from retirement to rescue South Africa. As we watch and pray, we will continue to curse the rigged doomsday marriage between the ANC and the racist DA." My response is equally long, so I'll do it in two parts, if you don't mind. Part one. Dear Prof. Moya, yes, I have to say that when I look for examples of integrity, of ethical behavior, of morality, I look only in one direction, and that's MK. You know, John Maxwell once said that no organization can rise above its leadership. If the leader is rated, say, 5, then the organization is rated no more than 4. So based on that, I would guess then that MK is probably rated up there in the firmament among the stars. I think with great gratitude of the ethical lessons that I have learned from your leader. And here are some of them. Number 1, never impregnate the daughter of a friend or a young woman young enough to be your granddaughter. Number 2, when you're absolutely surrounded by scandals, in fact, drowning in scandals, it's best to step down quietly for the sake of the office and the country. Number 3, when you're accused of unethical behavior, and you're accused of having transgressed the law, well, go to court soonest to face your accusers. Clear your great name. Don't drag it on for years, because that casts a shadow on that fantastic reputation of yours. Of course, that is unless you are hampered by continuous bouts of ill health and malicious, difficult prosecutors. Now, we all know what great respect your leader has for the Constitution. It's just the Roman Dutch law that's a problem, and his respect for the judiciary, of course. But I seem to recall that the Constitutional Court once ruled that he had violated his oath of office, not upholding and defending the Constitution. But that's a small thing. I mean, let's not go on about that the way WMC and Stratcom would go on. Let's not go on about these little things. You know, I was on the point of voting for the DA. Then I read, Prof. Moya, I read your beautifully constructed, academically sound, adjective-rich argument. I then realized that the DA has been pretending all along to provide good service while harboring in their serpents' bosoms the deep, evil desire to bring back apartheid, colonialism, and for all we know, even the feudal system. I promptly changed my vote to one for the ethical, glorious MK, spearheaded by the ethical chessmaster. I was hoping that we would sweep KZN and then sweep the whole country. Alas, through trickery or witchcraft or all of the above, um, we were checkmated. Nonetheless, we shall fight on with the inspiration of the glorious 9 years behind us. We shall trample on the repo rates and anything else that stands in the way of the revolution, of the ethical, moral government of the people, by the people. And why should His Excellent Self legitimize that unholy marriage of the ANC and the DA? Indeed, it's equivalent to encouraging older men who should know better to have sexual congress with women of daughter and granddaughter age. Out of the question. I tell you what, indeed, I fear that this Wildebeest government is just the first step in a 1,000-mile return journey to apartheid and other abominable stuff. I'm going to pause there. Come back for part 2. For more straightforward, very straightforward comment, read my blog, The Scuffle Continues. My books are on Amazon Kindle. Richard J. Mann. Cheers until later.